Good evening. It's a pretty special night tonight because it is happy birthday. Happy freaking birthday.
Happy birthday, Benny.
Yeah, happy birthday, guys. A year ago today. First edition Will, that's right, Will. We did promise that. We did. And got a... Oh, there you go. So we're gonna do something. Shall we sing along? We probably should. We're gonna do something pretty cool. We're gonna do, what's it called? Grubs? Worms? Worms.
I mean, as far as I know, I think I saw a birthday present in my wallet today. Woohoo!
Really?
Yeah.
Did that happen to be a first edition pack?
Yes. Wasn't that my birthday present?
Yeah, sure. Do you know what? What happens before we do all of that, because we'll have to get the worms set up and stuff. We have to get our worms in order. Number one mint, Satoshi Nakamoto. That's a good question. Let's start off with that. What is a worm? Phantom, we're going to show you what a worm is in a very short period of time. Sperms. What is everybody's favorite on the anniversary? What is your favorite cog of all time? I remember that lemon coin. I used to pick that every single time, mate. Princess cog. There you go. Satoshi. Taiwan foil. You got to give it a border as well. Rfox 2020. Yeah, actually, well, I didn't even consider that. I was thinking of cogs from the actual series, but that does look amazing, doesn't it? We've actually got some cool stuff coming up. I won't spoil it with books, but Sunset, Unicorn, Abomination Digital Dawn. Time Traveler in CS, Ramses. Mine's Time Traveler in Jeweled Earth. Doge Coaster. Phantom, is that your favourite overall? Because you've been here since the get-go. You might not have.
No, Benny, he had nightmares for first edition because he can't get the packs open.
We should also ask, exactly right. I was going to say you probably haven't actually opened any first or second edition ones, but you could actually that meme, the Apprentice, was it the Apprentice meme? What about favourite memes? Neon Red Guardian, that was the bounty cog. Man, that meme with Father Christmas, that's the best meme I've seen. Someone should pull that out.
No, I like the when Pokemon then gets thrown out the window.
Yeah, I think the Father Christmas one by the beds, same concept, right?
Yeah, XP created that one. The when Pokemon that get thrown out the window. I think that was Apprentice. I think Apprentice did it himself.
Probably. You got to pull that out. Here it comes. Oh, Red Farm or Red
Farm.
That is pretty good. I haven't seen that one, Donnie.
Nice, right? And then I think 90% of the people in this chat room goes like, "What?"
Oh, someone's got to find the Apprentice one. Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, the gecko. That Red Farm was hilarious. What was even funnier about that was the frightening speed in which it was created after the event. About 3 minutes to come up with that. That's very, very funny. I wish we enforced that a little bit more. Well, I think we should. I think we talked about that before. We'll look at doing much more of a migration over here because it's a lot easier to get things in order and find things. Telegram's a mess. Off the server fail during the first launch. That was pretty funny. Yeah, that was stressful at the time.
Yeah, we were stressed as community members, Benny. But I can imagine how is it going? I mean, like for you guys.
Yeah, you got to think about this. You go, Have we got all the colors? Yep. We've got 3,400 borders. Yep. Got all the colors
No,
right.
you missed one.
Got all the images right. Yep. Got everything right. Yep. All right, let's go. Can't open the packs. What? How come you can't open packs? Oh, that's cool, XP. But you got to get the Apprentice one. Someone's got to get the Apprentice one with Father Christmas. Or what do you call it in your part of the world? That sounds really stupid when an Australian says that, doesn't it? Father Christmas. All right. So before we do any festivities and pack opening stuff, questions. Has everyone got a chance to have a goosey gander at where we're up to with the vault? I saw a few people were saying, no way they're going to finish this in 5 weeks. It's not finished in 5 weeks. Oh. Has anyone guessed the vault shop competition? No, they have not. Yeah, they also sold Back to the Future DeLoreans as well. I wonder what they had to pay for those. Oh, that is fantastic. That's a lot of dude for not a lot of car. Okay. Rami Abal. So the question would be something like, for a transaction to be considered through the vault, the person needs to specifically open the vault app, log in, take the train, and pay through there. If that's correct, all the revenue generated directly through the different Rfox Ventures websites wouldn't be considered transactions through the vault because the person wasn't technically inside the vault, right? Okay, so the answer for that is it has to be purchased in the vault. You don't have to be catching trains and all the rest of it. It could be that you just using the vault. We're working out how to beat people to the items of their choice. So as we've said since the beginning, all the ventures are designed to be standalone ventures, and they all have to be self-sufficient ventures, and they're getting the benefit of all plugging into the vault. So we believe that the majority of the traffic will obviously come through the vault, but there will be some people that have no interest in the vault. 75-year-old people playing video games at home. I know that's there is people that do that. Oh, there you go. I want a neon arcade. That's great. Look at that. 2 people found it at the same time. Wow. I remember that one, Joiner. That's really cool. Okay, so any questions that you've got in relation to outside of that one? So Urban Gecko, I hope that makes sense. Yes, it's a transaction through the vault. When Pokemon. Pete, how long is it going to take us to get the worms ready?
Give me a minute. Stall them for a minute.
Yeah, when walk through the vault. When worms. Okay, so when walk through the vault.
Oh wait, no, I think we should open the pack first, then at least get the 20 cogs, and then do the worms. Then the top 20 will get it.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's a cool T-shirt, mate. I've still got that T-shirt as well.
Hanford, are you on? Can you help me out? Be the volunteer to distribute.
Let me answer those questions. Apprentice. The walkthrough through the vault. So we've just got the actual app now, meaning that we can we're plugged into the matrix now, so we can actually walk in there and cruise around. Actually, just on that, how many people have an Oculus or a headset here? I don't know if it's just me, but I find that anytime I use one of those bloody Facebook games, I feel like I need to have a Ralph after I've used it. Makes me dizzy as. Yeah, there you go. You wish you do, but you feel sick when you use one. Yeah, Ralph means to be sick, mate. It's an Australian term for throwing up. A chunder. Is it very common, is it, Jim? I was playing this game. My son said to me, go into this thing on the weekend and we'll hang out. It's called Echo VR. Good Lord. The most disorienting, dizzying thing you've ever experienced. But let me answer those couple of questions real quick. So the answer is that we'll be doing the competition and giving 3 people a headset and walking them through, and there'll also be another group of people that we take through. We do want to make sure that some people get a chance to get in there and have a bit of a run around before the official opening. Touched on Rfox Finance during the AMA. Is there anything else you can add to that? Yeah, so we're working on some stuff now. I will advise you shortly, but we're making sure that there is no. We've told you since day one we're not going to make it so that rewards dry up. So there will be lots coming. And I even wrote in the blog, I talked about the fact that the end goal, and many of you already know this, we want to do be able to do collateral and loans, insurance, and all that type of stuff, much like a ping out, which we've said since day one. Yeah, TZ, and that's something that we've refresh rates and rendering and all the rest of it are something that our guys are very, very familiar with, and they're working on that. I walked around on the weekend. Wade recorded me. It's very embarrassing, and I walked around for my first proper unguided look. And at this particular point in time, you can still walk through walls, and there's no like conventional gravitational laws, so you can still walk through the walls and you can still cruise around. It's just so bloody exciting. Has any thoughts going into Vault Neuralink compatible at some stage? Mate, we've had all sorts of crazy notions, suggestions, and proposals recently. It's getting quite insane. When we first started, as we said, we thought we need a platform to plug all the ventures into. What should it be? And the Vault obviously is the it ended up being the logical and the right way to do all of that. But where it's going to go is well beyond what we first anticipated. So that's why we need to hand it over to people that are, make it a contributive platform where people can integrate and bring in all the latest tech gadgets, gizmos. I think today's blog, have you read today's blog yet? Has it come out? I'm not sure. But anyways, it talks about the, you've heard about the VR treadmills. Oh, here we go. Urban Gecko, when was that one? Does every transaction go through the Rfox finance system you're building, or do you have a separate system that even Rfox finance is plugging into? It's a good question. So at this particular point in time, everything goes through there, but we have agreed to have a couple of chats to companies that already are established in the areas that we want to go into. They've reached out to us, so I just have to put them onto the right people in our team, and we'll start having some conversations. So we'll let you know as we go. But it is possible that we would be able to integrate with or partner with other people. Unless you're sitting there watching. I'll tell you what, TKLO3, the other one that I think is interesting that happens with the headset is if you switch from one app to another app or a game, sometimes the front comes behind you for some reason, and you've got to spin around against the wall. I don't know I'm too inexperienced to be able to readjust my front view. Blog is out. Ready Player One Part 2. Yeah, that's it. FMH. So, have you seen the cool treadmills, multi-directional treadmills? They've got the little So when you're actually using your hoverboard in the virtual space, they've got these little like skateboarding feet type thing that you can use it for lots of different stuff, skateboarding and lots of motion related. They're quite small and inexpensive. They'll get even cheaper and cheaper. But how cool is it going to be that you can have a hoverboard that you could eventually be able to stand on some sort of a device and feel like you're actually moving around? I think that's fantastic. Is there exclusivity with the Vault shops? If you hit on something that works, will others be allowed to copy? So the answer to that, quite simply, is the people that buy the shops are the ones who operate it. So we may partner with, or we may launch things through Rfox that are ventures of ours that may be unique, and we would do everything we can to protect those for sure and certain. But if somebody buys a shop, opens up a unique concept, then that's something completely to do with that person and their idea. Oh, Ramses is going to open. Ben, you mentioned the AMO about the importance of first 5 minutes someone spends in the vault to keep them interested. Yep. Have you thought about the music aspect of it? Yes. I remember what an important part it was. Yes. I've actually quoted GTA in a few of the interviews that I've done. Our media arm have talked regularly about having this. So we've got a few really good ideas for radio or music, piped music, because one thing that the brands that we speak to ask, weirdly enough, one of the brands is obsessed and said, can you turn other people's chatter off? And then I said, why? And they said, because it's a privacy thing. And I said, right, yes. So most of the chat apps and most of the chat functions allow you to choose to talk to your friends and only hear your friends, or hear every noise in the background, not hear chatter, or hear everybody talking. What we want to do is focus on music. I think music's a big part of, especially the core group of RedFOX Labs. We all love music a lot, and I've talked to Glenn, King of Cogs, about the want to integrate 8D sound. There's a few companies out there that are doing it for real world. We want to see if we can get them involved in the virtual space. I think sound is really, really important, and that's one thing that the virtual headsets don't really have at the moment. They've got the pretty good sound, but they're kind of built in. And I think an 8D sort of sound and an immersive experience as far as sound is concerned is extremely important, especially, as you say, when you go into concerts or rock concerts. It's going to be super important for a lot of these artists that can't tour during COVID or have restrictions on their travel and can't travel, that they don't get a crappy bootleggy type of experience when they're selling tickets to you. So sound is going to be extremely important going forward. Yes, and they're already doing music in NFTs with, Kings of Leon did an album launch, and lots of people are doing that. I suppose if you partner with someone else for another platform or to create an on-ramp or off-ramp for finance, that will add to the revenue of the Rfox rewards. Yeah, so we're already in the pros of setting that up in 2 countries and working on a 3rd Urban Gecko, so that there can be fiat on-ramps and off-ramps. All these processes take a little bit longer than you would like, but as I've said to you before, that would be the main reason that I would want to get listed on Binance, is for the fact that we've got on and off ramps for the play to earn, but we're not waiting for that stuff to happen. We're going and doing it ourselves. You should have a shop that converts people's normal videos to VR. Boom. There you go, Mike. Sounds like you need to buy a shop. Just needs to be original sound music similar to Fortnite. Yep. Well, if you're smart, TKLO3, what you do is you offer like a RedFOX radio, Rfox radio, and that can be piped through or your business or your shop or whatever. And if you want to change it or add your own music in, it's a separate function. I meant, will others be able to copy my idea, or will my idea be protected within the vault from copycats? Your business inside of the vault will be much like your business would be on in a mall. Same thing. Just do it better than anybody else does it. That's what we've come to the conclusion of. Lots of people are going to have a lot more money than us, or better funding than us, or bigger teams than us. But we believe that we've got a solid enough team and a great idea, and we back ourselves in to execute it better than anybody else. So that's the most important thing. When you first start talking to VCs, anyone who's ever run a business would know that. You feel like when you go in there, you want to make them sign NDAs because your idea is so good and you don't want people to steal your idea, but you'll never get inside the doors of a VC unless you're prepared to share your idea. And some VCs set up with the specific purpose of collecting ideas and then working out how to implement them, selling them, using the data. So you're going into a lion's den. You need to register your own IP, dude. That's your own thing to do. Community pool for a shop. Apprentice, we're not condoning that, but again, today we had it mentioned that there is starting to talk to a couple of the groups on the ETH side, and the ETH side, apparently, the communities for buying land on the ETH side are much bigger, obviously, and there's some huge conglomerates or groups or pools that buy land on the ETH side. And I had a conversation with one of the groups today, and they said it'll be all pools. the Vault engine. Does next gen streaming? Yes, it does. Yes, Urban Gecko falls under RFox Media. Yep. Would Grab be an obvious option? Furthermore, would Grab offer service delivery for regional vaults? How's Mr. K getting on? Yeah, so OJ, that's a good question, and we obviously talked to them a bit because we have the background with them, but you know how those big companies work. Everything moves very, very slowly. But yes, that's a logical option to at least continue to progress those conversations for sure. Is RFox Media going to be predominantly in English, or will it be more focused on the local language? It'll be both. So in Myanmar, it's all in Burmese. In the Philippines, it will be English and maybe progress into Tagalog later, but you don't really need to do that. But in Vietnam and Indonesia, it'll be in Bahasa and Vietnamese for sure. Actually, from the gaming side of things, Indonesia's moved past Philippines now, I see, Pete, 47 to 41%. So the Indonesian community is getting big.
Yep. Malaysia community is still non-existent.
Malaysia. Groundhog Day. Welcome to year 2 of 14 days to flatten the curve. Okay, how you going with the who's going to do the pack? Ramses?
Yeah. To make it official, Ramses has to open a pack.
But the problem's going to be getting everybody to watch, huh? How many people can jump on? All right, go on to live, whoever can.
I'm going to open a third edition test pack just in case.
Ooh.
Just make sure everything runs.
It's like the old days, Ramses.
Right?
So Ramses, the sequence of the cogs in first edition, I think, is messed up. It's not like what we use. What
really?
we're used to. It's all over the place. It's just going to be all over the place. So you can get the ultra rare at the first pop.
Awesome. We'll have to pay attention then.
Yeah, hey, we still haven't had a Pineapple Satoshi, right?
No, we have
Pineapple
not.
Satoshi foil.
Yeah, it hasn't never come out. Holy guacamole.
Yeah,
I got the
8-ball. I got the 8-ball foil. So if the dang thing comes out, whoever that wins it, I want to have a talk with you.
How are we doing that giveaway? The top 25 left in grubs or what?
No, it'll be grubs. It'll be grubs. Yep.
It's top 25 in grubs according to the sequence of the cog. I mean, last cog out will be number 1 on the grub list.
Are we ready? So last cog out will be the first grubby.
Okay, here we go.
Oh. Sure. You got to blow the dust off it.
Right?
Ooh,
wiggle, wiggle.
Chills.
I think a lot of people would have never seen a first edition pack get cracked.
Here we go.
Look.
Here comes a Fergs.
Takes me right back. Ooh.
Oh, foil. Oh, nice.
Everyone's going to want to come in last.
Scuba diver, dibs.
Well, it's a tremendous start. As that English streamer said, that cracked me up, he goes, "That's the pack that pays you back."
Name rare.
Oh. I think a lot of people won't know what a lot of these are worth. We used to know to the cent, remember?
Benny?
Even a scuba diver's worth something now.
Benny, the thing is, so I looked at the sequence on the site. It's following the actual sequence. It's just that what's popping out of the screen is not. So, yeah, I think we can still stick with that.
Oh. I think that's the most valuable one, right? The second last. Well, let's see what's in their inventory as far as the order's concerned. Does it come out in the same? No.
Inventory is exactly like what's supposed to be. It's just on the screen.
Oh, there you go. How much is that worth? Click on list on market, see what the lowest price is. I can't read, it's too small. What does it say?
Wow, there's none. Never been sold, none on the market.
What is it? One of what?
1 of 5. 1 year later, there's only 5 of those.
Wow. So how are we going to do it for the order?
Oh, but just look at it. The Ghost Slammer foil is $160. So the order will
what
be
about
Russia foil, Ghost foil, Retro, Executioner foil, Super Soaker, Archaeologist, Rfox Games, Super Shower, Artemisa, Digital Money, Sean, Dipsy, Glenn, and then all the way down to the heart.
So just let's just while we're waiting for that to get sorted out and the grubs to get loaded, let's just have a little bit of a look-see on the market and have a look at how much. What's the most expensive, do we think? Probably the rare foil, right? Cogs, first edition. Someone's probably got it up already. Rare foil, yes. Has anyone been able to find it?
There's an executioner here for 250.
Yeah, you can still buy. Yeah, 250 for that border. You can. Wow, that's pretty good. You can buy one for $51. Hey Pete, remember the good old days? I remember going in and saying you could buy like a mint number 1 Lambo for under $100.
Can't get it there anymore, mate.
I think I bought like 7 or 8 of them. Geez, those cogs are beautiful. Just wanted to clarify some comments that were spoken of in Telegram last week regarding Binance. I know. Could you qualify whether or not this is likely and what the working relation will be in regarding to utilising them to aid the project, as you said earlier? I know we have on-ramp in the pipeline, but from a trading perspective, I'd love to see the liquidity issues on the exchange rectified. Yeah, so OJ, we know that the game alone should take care of a lot of those volume, the side of things. But yes, obviously the immediate and obvious advantage to Binance is liquidity. So that's extremely. So we know we've gone through the process before. We speak to the guys on the Binance side, and it's all, as we said before, it's all about users and utility. So having Rfox accepted on OpenSea was a step in the right direction as well. And then the utility that we've got coming up in the next few weeks is going to be great. Finally, we can use our token for everything. Which cogs did you raise the floor on simply by buying lots of them? I think in the beginning, in the early days, I probably made the fundamental mistake of saying that I liked the Time Traveller, and Pete said he liked the Pineapple Border, and that was probably enough to set people off. Pineapple Borders and Time Travellers became like unaffordable.
But I know I raised the price of scuba divers for sure. Okay, I got 68 people in the chat. Load up in grubs. Benny, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, good luck, everyone.
Good luck. Everybody ready?
Okay. I just want to confirm at the bottom that says it's 68, and then I'm good to go. Right. Okay, 68 down here.
Smokes.
All good. There's a lot of grubs.
A lot of death.
Boom! Am I still there? Where am I?
I see Choina. I see Ramses.
Boom, boom,
There's a
boom.
lot of
Lots
death.
of dead people.
Holy smokes!
Oh, I'm not there anymore. God dang it. I'm dead.
Ah,
Oh,
This
who's
is so
still in
cool.
there? Boom, boom, boom.
ah.
More dead people. Ruby's there. Ruby's still there.
See
I see Donnie.
Apprentice.
Benny's still there. Apprentice, China. Oh, Donnie's dead. Spoke too soon. Vatican,
This is
Benny's
so
dead. Boom. Oh, Miss OMC. Oh, spoke too soon. OMC, sorry. He did. Just Miss Apprentice. Ashes dead.
Oh,
Wow.
Choina! Lucky!
Jay's dead. Apprentice, China. Oh, Apprentice dead. China.
Choina!
Oh,
Oh!
Derek Hobbs.
He's too bullish, man. Derek is way too bullish.
So that's a pretty cool little gizmo, isn't it? It's a bit more entertaining than a wheel.
Oh, it doesn't say who's number 25.
Ramses, I think you keep the last one, I guess. There's only 24 on the list.
The perks of the pack opener. While they're working that out, I'll go back to the question. So how are you going to integrate Rfox Media into the vault? Obviously, adverts. Will people be able to use the streaming app while moving in the vault? Bit of inception. Yeah, so you're right. The adverts and the billboards, and yes, we're integrate that. Anything that goes with TV or streaming will be through media and integrated into the space. What about Vfox on CoinSpot? Phantom, I can definitely talk to them. I haven't talked to them about that. Rfox was done early on markets. I think that as the land sale and these types of things that talk about exposure and talk about the potential for rewards, because the one thing that I learned today was that on the ETH side, from the NFT space, unless you've got a proper collection that's done well on the ETH side, nobody knows who you are. So, you might think it's not a good thing, but I think it's extremely bullish, and that is that most people on the ETH side haven't heard of us yet because we haven't done a major collection or anything on the ETH side. So that is a whole new audience to be tapped into. So now we're working on how to really push that over the course of these upcoming collections coming out, as well as also the land sale as well. And obviously being on OpenSea helps a lot. Is Rfox Finance going to be used for all the revenue handling of Rfox Media, or only things tweaked into Vault? I know you mentioned that standalone is every single system built over Rfox Finance. So finance would be the trying to understand what revenue will be going to Vfox holders, be what might not be. Yeah, so basically anything, it is as simple as it was stated before. It's anything that courses through the vault. So if someone's going straight to Rfox Finance and using staking pools and farming or using any financial products, then that would be through Rfox Finance. If they were doing something like, for example, and I'm not saying this is happening, I'm just giving an example, if they went into a virtual bank or a building or an Rfox Finance building or something in the virtual space, and then they actually were able to, through the Rfox Vault, utilize the product, then it's inside of the vault. So that would be the differentiator. Would RedFOX consider launching social tokens for Miss Philippines influencers from streaming app or marquee clients? It's funny you say that, R2. We've had several people reach out in the last week talking about it. I presume because two of them have quoted Rail's comments in relation to social tokens and metaverses being the two big things, and saying that they go hand in hand. And so we're getting asked a lot whether there'd be a social token possibility. With the Miss Philippines contestants, I think you're going to love that, by the way. I wish I was allowed to say it now, but we're not allowed to, right? But very soon. I think you're going to absolutely love the Miss Universe Philippines. Is going to be exciting. It's going to bring a whole new audience in, but yeah, it's very, very exciting. But they do want to build careers for themselves, because we've said this before, the majority of the contestants will not end up obviously making life-changing money, and even the winners don't make life-changing money from the contest. So might kickstart an international modelling career or contract or endorsements or sponsorships or brand representation or something like that. So we've got a very good idea and method to be able to build their social pages on our platform, which will help bring audiences in. So, yeah, I'll let that speak for itself. But ultimately, we'll be driving traffic into our platform, and they'll all have their own profile pages and setups, which means they'll have a ton of followers coming into our platforms. And then that sort of snowballs. It'll take a while to build up, but yes. And then as far as tokenizing that is concerned, definitely a possibility, but not something that we've put on the immediate roadmap. Tell us something that will get you muted. Oh, actually, Pete was, I should have muted Pete before, huh, Pete? Pete was sure. Pete for sure and certain thought that I would spoil the ad releasing tomorrow, and I said nope. So we'll premiere the ad tomorrow at 4 p.m. Vietnam, the first ad. We've got 3 ads, as we've told you. So we're excited to sort of kick that off. And then we've got a heavy campaign kicking in over the next couple of days for the ads to really make sure that we get the word out and the message out. And it's definitely the biggest campaign we've done by mile and the best ads that we've produced. And yeah, it's a real step up and a level up.
Sorry, guys. I wanted to do something special for you, but Benny muted me. So
yes,
I tried.
He was sure that I was going to show you tonight, and I said nope, because the thing is that not everybody can watch, and the sound doesn't come. And I don't want bootleg versions of an ad going out and giving the 2 trolls that have 28 accounts the opportunity to say, "Oh, look at the quality of that." I want it to be in high quality when you see it. The real question, when Miss Philippine Cogs, don't know about that, mate. At the moment, we've got their NFT collection, and I think it's safe to say, Pete, that the format or method that we've got for that hasn't been done before, and
this will be a first, world first, I think.
Yeah, so it'll cause a frenzy for sure and certain, and I think it'll be very well received. So I can't wait to throw that out there. Do you foresee future collabs with Marvel for something like Cogs? It seems like a no-brainer. Yeah, so there's a couple of I can't spoil the party, and that's up to games, but there's as we've stated, there's a couple of partnerships coming, so I'll just let those guys talk about that. When Apprentice, no Pokemon Cog. Are the marquee clients aware of each other in relation to being chosen for the space in the vault? With that, we've again got a unique client that when we first announced the client that we'll probably talk to you about in the next week or two will be, that is a situation like that where clients would be aware of each other. And it's a pretty unique system. So I think there's going to be a couple of really interesting things coming up in relation to that. So I can't say much, but here we go tomorrow. Are the ads about Vault the game or just Rfox in general? Great question, Klima. So Klima, what we're doing is the ad that will launch tomorrow is for the Vault lands, for the shop sale. There's another ad that will be staggered approximately 48 hours or thereabouts after, and that ad will be in relation to the entire ecosystem. So it's an ecosystem, an Rfox explainer video. And then The third ad that comes out a couple of weeks before the actual land sale is more of like a gaming ad in relation to LORE and a story about the vault. So we go into full degen game mode. No ad preview, just a second. Pretty please, cannot. Cannot. I wish I could. You know how much I hate sitting on my hands. I don't want to. It's been killing me for so long. But the thing is, we want to make sure that we do it right, get the right things out. It's been ready. The queue's been in the rack for a while, and we've been waiting. Don't feed the trolls. Yeah, try not to. They grow fast if you feed them. You made it, Metaverse, but you missed some good answers. But we record them, so no problems there. What you did miss out on was how do you explain that to a person coming in? A spinning blade hacking up grubs that resulted in first edition cogs. How to pick an Aussie. Math's not math. You also missed a Grubfish Royal. Yeah, that's it. If someone uses NFT platform, will all the revenue of that website be coursed through Rfox Finance? Since you mentioned you wanted to allow people to pay in whatever they can and it is swapped in the background for the relevant NFT network, what is the relationship between Rfox Finance and NFT white label platform? So the NFT white label platform is effectively as you know what it is, but for those who don't, it is I'm calling it a box with hooks. It is the ability for you to mint NFTs, set up your site, and then to place them for sale and trade. And therefore, there will be lots of different payment methods integrated. The one thing for sure and certain will be the 2% transaction that is kept that goes through the vault. The white label is available in two situations. Correct me if I explain this the wrong way, Pete, but I'm sure it's relatively simple to explain. But effectively, there's two instances of the white label in the sense that the shops will use a version of the white label and you, outside of the vault, can use a version of the white label. So it will also be a standalone product. So the 2% would course through the NFT platform white label and a monthly subscription fee, much the same as a Shopify type of setup. So they may well be unrelated in particular instances, Urban Gecko, but the one thing that is for sure and certain is the transaction fee. Yes, Urban Gecko will release it on YouTube. Chicken Derby or Z-Run race their assets in the stadium in the vault. XP, I'll answer that in two places. They can and could, but it won't be in a stadium. Will there be a way to buy a part of vault? What? You're not going to mute me. That's all I'm saying.
No, yeah, okay. We're good.
I'm not going to mute them, but they're going to find out tomorrow anyways. Will there be a way to buy part of a vault land and thus share the ownership with other people? I'm currently too poor to buy one, huh? So, Clayman, we've talked about the fact that people are discussing the option of pools, but we're not condoning or running any pools because we don't want to be irresponsible, and we're not officially offering any pools. So any pools that do exist are purely community run or driven and nothing to do with us. But in relation to people buying land because you're buying shops, the question that has been asked before, because it was brought up in the very, very beginning, we will look at the option to have partial ownership in things like stadiums or main event areas down the track, which would give you fractional ownership. Got to say that background of Vault in today's AMA looks great. Congrats. Cannot wait to see it finish. Yeah, George74, the thing is that we're trying to take people through the process of what it looks like as we progress and as we build. And obviously that's it's a hell of an effort to sort of, you think about it from the construction of a building. It's like showing the cement foundation and then the wood frames going up. And And people look at that and go, that's not a house. But the fact is, we're not trying to show you the end product. We're trying to show you the journey and what it's going to look like, how we get there, and piece by piece how we're building it. I think it's really important, especially in this space, to be transparent with trying to show you, when you can, what it is that we actually are building and where we're up to in the process. And it's a very weird space because it's probably the only space where people actually will say, that's not ready, that looks stupid, it's not finished yet, or whatever. The fact is, again, it's part of the journey. It's part of showing you the progression and showing you where we're at. But that's a lot of hard work just to get it to that point. And now comes the real hard work where you're beautifying it, and then you're doing the integration layers. And that's where people like Pete come to the party. That's the part that I want to try and get my head around. But making all these different things talk to each other and connect and integrate is going to be another big piece. So we've got the guys that are making it look pretty, building the foundations, doing that all in the gaming engines, and then the clever guys like Pete have to come in and say, shit, how do we get these things to talk to each other?
Yeah, exactly. Shit.
Exactly. It's not easy. And the thing is that we're trying to integrate stuff that hasn't been done very many times before. It's like going to IKEA and buying a box of furniture and getting it home and there's no instructions. So sometimes a cupboard looks like a chair. We will be heavily reliant on third-party bridges in the future. If so, will we be building our own? Pete, you want to answer that?
Yes. I answered that
Then
already.
Then I have to mute you.
Yeah, but I did answer yes.
Yes, what? Yes, we have to rely on third parties, or yes, we're building our own?
Yes. That's it.
Oh,
I don't want to get
on.
muted. But you can explain it however way you want it, Benny.
Can I try?
Yeah, you can try.
I can try. So we've already talked about it when was it, last week? This week? I can't keep up with time. I've got no comprehension of what day or time or week or month it is.
Last week you mentioned it, yes.
Yeah, last week we talked about the ETH Wax Bridge. Oh, and that's right. I wrote on the blog, hint. I'll let you have a guess. What would the benefit of building an ETH Wax Bridge be to Rfox holders and the ecosystem? That's my question of the night for you.
Okay, just leave it at that. Just leave it at that.
Okay, so NFT platform will mint asset to which chain by default? Well, actually, I can answer that as well. I'll say one thing, DGen, because I want to actually like make a proper song and dance about this. But regardless of which chain you choose, we are heading towards being in a situation where Rfox is the currency. That's all I'll say for now. Someone makes a $10,000 transaction in the vault, 2% is held in Rfox by RedFOX Treasury. Right, Benny. So Artis, yeah, what happens is 1% will be distributed to VFOX holders, 0.25% to the quartermasters, or the group of people that are quartermastering, and 0.75% is the revenue that Rfox goes back to RedFOX Labs to run the ecosystem. So that's the breakdown. Are they selling the land for Calanova on your own unique own site built on the NFT platform? Did you? Yes. How good's that? That's fantastic. Oh, here we go. Crypto Matrix. In regard to the Vault Metaverse, the idea of introducing hoverboards to get around is brilliant. However, have you thought about a mechanism such as instant teleporters that could be used throughout the metaverse, which people can transfer? Okay, so the answer is Crypto Matrix. We're going to have 3 groups of people, and I talked about this in one of the interviews. I don't know what it was. Can't keep up. Podcast, blog, something. We talked about the fact that there'd be 3 basic groups of people that come into the metaverse, right? So let's just say that you're looking for something in particular, like black socks. There's going to be the group of people that come in that say, I know exactly what it is that I want to buy.
I don't want to catch trains, cruise around, wander aimlessly. I've got 2 minutes. I want to be in. I want to be out. But I'm a big Rfox holder and supporter, so I want to support the ecosystem, but don't make it difficult for me. Don't make it a long-winded exercise. Those people need to be able to get to where they need to get to immediately. You'll have the people that go into the metaverse that have no understanding of what it is, want a sticky beak, have no understanding of or comprehension or want to buy anything. And then you've got people that are sort of, if I found something in this thing, in this type of thing, I'm open to it. I'll look around. I'm on the fence. So you'll have 3 different groups of people. Some that want to walk around, meander, some that want to go super fast, straight to where they need to get to, and others that are, wandering aimlessly. Would the fractional tokenized ownership of certain assets in the vault that you just mentioned be NFTs in themselves? Yes. So a long time ago, they introduced sharded NFTs and like opportunities for people to have fractional ownership. What would you say? Keep your eye on when watching the ad tomorrow. Oh, mate, we know for sure and certain that people have been waiting so long for this type of stuff that there's going to be screen grabs, circles, questions, tons of stuff. We understand that. Dots drawn where they shouldn't be. Dots joined where they shouldn't be joined. Is it possible to build a bridge for whatever you want? Pete, I'll let you answer that.
Yes.
He's just saying yes.
When Benny asks me question, I just say yes. No questions asked. Yes. And then when I leave Benny, I say shit.
Yeah, I think Urban Gecko, I think it's going to be cool. The idea of the ad tomorrow, just so that we're very clear with you, is to premiere it, right? So we premiere it tomorrow. We promised that we would do it. We're very making sure that if we set these goals and objectives that we hit them. So the idea of tomorrow is to show you, to premiere, to give you guys a look, and then over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours, the really targeted campaigning and marketing starts to kick in. So you'll see it on your favorite mediums and channels. Because it's the metaverse and the land sale, and that's global, that will be much more likely to get your eyeballs or to fall into the mediums that you regularly use as English speakers, as opposed to some of the stuff that we're doing in the local markets. When we do the evergreen ad that explains the whole ecosystem, that will also go much more into the user groups that we're trying to target and advertise to. Not a bad job being a quartermaster. Yeah, I think, OJ, like I was saying to you, I think once this is up and running and going, and these things always take a little bit of time, but if we do that the right way, it would happen faster because we have multiple ventures, meaning customer bases for all of those, all being funneled into the Rfox Vault. I've said it a million times, I think what will end up happening is quartermasters there'll be multiple people doing that role in each of the quarters. And I would be shocked if it wasn't paying more than a full-time conventional job. I'd be shocked. Is there a countdown for the ad? No. Yeah, Artis, it's hard to say. It's this is all speculation and projections and all the rest of it. But I think the most important thing is that this isn't one of those hazy types of setups or systems. The great part about this is all going to be visible, validatable, or verifiable, validatable. There you go, making up words. Verifiable, and you'll be able to calculate pretty simply what will happen as far as payouts are concerned or what is coming. So it'll all be kept in Rfox. The only thing that will change is fluctuations of the value of those that are being given out, but the amounts will be very easy to track. Will you be able to move in first or third person view? Do you want to answer that, Pete?
We haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
Because he says non-VR. Yeah, it should be, but yeah, we haven't nailed that down yet. But I think it should be. It shouldn't be difficult.
Will you be able to customize avatars? You will be, Urban Gecko, but the better question is, will we allow people to customize avatars? That's the better question to ask. So obviously a lot of the stuff in the Rfox vault will be able to be branded, or like, for example, you'd have commonplace hoverboards, right? And then you'd have your gold and emerald type of hoverboards, like what's it called on Back to the Future? The pitbull. Yeah. So you'll have different variations for sure and certain. And we've always talked about the fact that we want to introduce avatars either related to cogs or to our ecosystem as well. So that's we want to make sure that that's privilege based on ownership or holding of particular assets. Yep. So okay, we're going over. So any degenning right now? Yeah. Okay, mate. I'll let everyone go to the hour. So is there any last questions? There's a lot to go over, but I might pop in for a few minutes tomorrow night just to see what your reaction is to the ad. Yes, Urban Gecko. We know also that there'll be a great space race, and to be honest, we haven't actually got to this point yet. We're doing step by step, and we're doing it bit by bit. But we understand what we would like to have in future phases. But we do know full well that the ability to integrate other avatars from other metaverses is extremely important going forwards. But what you do, because if, for example, Sandbox has the right to Smurfs, we can't just say, oh, we'll just make Smurfs. You've got licensing and you've got IP rights and issues and stuff like that legally. So it's not just a matter of simply turning on another person's avatar and using it wherever they want, because some of them have specifically regional or targeted licensing. So that's something that we have to work around. So we are familiar with the fact that this is going to be a big thing, though. What happens when you have too many people stacking, mate? Stacking. You Google that, what they do in the Pacific Islands when they get on buses and the buses are full. They all sit on each other's laps. All right. So the ad's there, 29 hours. Is that correct? No. What is it? Someone did the math. 5 hours ago. 19 hours from now. 19.
19 hours, yeah.
Yeah, 19 hours. All right, guys, I'll let you go to your DGen hour. Thank you very much for attending. Appreciate it. Good luck, and happy for the guys that won the cogs from the first edition. Hope you like the ad tomorrow. I'm sure you're going to have a ton of questions when you start seeing that, zooming in and trying to join dots that shouldn't be joining. But ultimately, look forward to the feedback, and have an awesome night, guys, and I'll see you next week. But I will pop in for a couple of minutes tomorrow to see what you thought. Maybe, Clemmer.
Thanks, Benny.
Maybe. See you guys.